Hey everyone, it's Don once again, Captain Cross Stitch here, coming to you this fine beginning of March with my February wrap-up. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel all about cross stitch and occasionally some extracurricular pursuits of mine. Not always, but anyway, so if you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, I thank you for your continued support. And so I don't have much to tell you, to show you or tell you. February was not a good month for me mentally. Started off pretty good, but then the last couple of weeks have been, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to get into it a whole lot. But anyway, it's not my eyesight, is garbage anyway, but my glasses have begun failing me for some reason. I can't see with them up close anymore, so I don't know. I have to take them off to see. I can see stuff really close up, but otherwise I'm kind of blind. But anyway, so this is Floss Tube episode 17. I'm kind of just going to do things out of my typical order just because I have stuff handy, and like I said, I'm not going to have much to show or tell this time around. Haven't bought anything new in the past month. I think in the past I've enjoyed having a plethora of haul to show, but as a lot of people are probably struggling in this world today, money is extremely tight, and I haven't been able to do my usual purchasing that I enjoy doing. But I do have one thing to show, and that's the new, or my latest, fabric of the month, which arrived last week. So I belong to the Grace Notes fabric of the month. I belong to the Neutrals Club, and I always get a fat quarter of my go-to fabric, which is a 14 count Ada, and this month's color is called Ginger. So very nice color, very, as most neutrals are. This, you could really do just about anything you want on this. It's a nice, I don't know if it comes across, but on camera, but the color is like a kind of like a creamy cinnamon color. So yeah, this will work well with some project or other when the time comes. So thanks to Grace Notes Fabrics and the people there, Corinne and everybody else that helped out dyeing this by hand. Thank you for that. and I look forward to next month. I'm going to get right into whips because I don't have much. So this is my Americana patriotism bag, project bag, and if you've been watching me in recent months, you will have seen this project before. This is the Founding Promises by Silver Creek Samplers. Sorry about the glare. All right. Her stuff is very recognizable. Diane, I think is her name. Met her a couple of years ago and bought a ton of stuff of hers. And I've done a couple of them, I think, at least one. No, yeah, one or two. I don't remember. But anyway, so this is where I'm at. If I can find it. So I'm stitching this on a Grace Notes fabric 14 count snickerdoodle, and I get some light over here so you can see that better. Yeah, that's better. So I've finished the flag except for the white part. This there's plenty of white to fill in there, and then I still have some freedom to fill in, but I'm going, and I did all the grass underneath that. So now I'm just doing the words underneath, and then I'll go back and fill in where I need to fill in, and so. Her stuff stitches up fairly quickly, which is good, you know. But I enjoy doing them, at least in the past. I haven't done much of anything this month. Yeah, I kind of thought maybe I got my mojo back last month, or January, and started off strong in February, and then nothing. Like, barely even thought about it. Alright, the next project I took, worked on, and it's a nondescript, Amazon bag. This is my first and only ever Nora Corbett start. This is Minerva. So I started this and another, a Mirabilia, which you'll see shortly. Started those both because I plan on going to the Queen City Stitch Retreat in October, assuming I had the money. I mean, I paid for my spot, and I have the hotel room on reserve, but I just have to wait and see how the rest of the year goes. I'm hoping I'll be able to go when the time comes. I will be even more depressed if I can't go to that. Alright, so I'm stitching this on a 16 count hand-dyed Ada from Garibaldi's Needleworks. It's called Iced Coffee. And so far the only color there's a lot of DMC 310 in there, so that's what I've been working on since there's so much of it. Yeah, this is right side up. So that's where I stand on that. You can kind of see this is her hat. It's, kind of a pointy witch's style hat, and then her hair, and then part of her dress around her arm. So yeah. And of course, with it being so much of one color, it's fairly easy to stitch up. So but that'll be one of 2 projects I take with me to Charlotte come October, because I'm only going to need to work on 2 the whole time I'm there, because chances are I'm going to be doing a lot of this, a lot of meeting or greeting, and because I'm guessing the bulk of whom I shall meet there I don't know personally, or I'll know a handful of people maybe. Some people I know, but only via Zoom and online stuff, like the retreat organizers, Amy and Maggie. I've met them on Zoom, and I talk to them on Zoom every month, but I've not met them in person. So, and there'll be some others that I probably know that I didn't realize they were going to be there. I'm hoping Allie Z is there. I haven't seen her in a year and a half. So it'll be good to touch base with her again. And, Alright. So my other project that I'm taking to Charlotte is my Mirabilia Red Lady Pirate. That's a lot of dress down here. That's like the whole bottom of the chart is like that. It's crazy. It'll be easy to stitch up. It's just big blocks of color. But it's a lot of stitches. And I'm stitching this on a piece of Grace Notes fabric, 14 count, I'm sorry, 16 count, not 14, 16 count Colleen, which is a beautiful blue color. I think I got this right side up. So I got a little bit of skin in there and some dress around the one arm. This blue color, there's a lot of that, so I just said, I'll just get started and fill in a lot of that. But the cool thing about this piece of fabric is the modeling is such that the way I oriented it, the area above the pirate lady's head is nothing but blue sky. And I before I bought the fabric, I was like, I'm going to have to add something to that because I don't want that big open space. You know, even if it's just putting in a couple little, you know, crooked V shapes for seagulls off in the distance or something like that, that I could have done easily enough, which I may still do, but the fabric is going to add a cool element to which I don't have to do anything if I didn't want to. And it makes it look like a cloudy sky, which is, I think that comes across in the picture. So that's going to look stellar when it's all said and done. So that'll be another piece I take with me to Charlotte. I figured I'd have one Mirabilia and one Norcorbit piece to work on while I'm there. Because generally speaking, you don't get a whole lot of stitching done at these retreats, so there's no use me carting around a buttload of projects that I'm not going to touch. Plus, Amy and Maggie made it known that, well, I'm not going to have anything for the brag table, so I don't have to worry about that. So in theory, I could bring whatever I want to work on, but since it's a Nora-centric focus for this third year of the Queen City Stitch Retreat, and it's going to be all about her. And I'm curious to see how she feels about so much adulation, over something that she loves to do. I'll be interested to learn what type of person she is, and what her motivations are, and her, the way she does things. For those of you who don't know, I'm an artist as well, but I haven't really crossed streams between art and cross stitch. Not yet, but I think I'm playing around with the idea. So I'd like to get her feedback on her processes. Not to mention the fact that she and I are the same age and our birthdays are one day apart. So that's cool. I feel like maybe we're kindred spirits, that we're both creative artists. And, if you believe in that astrology kind of stuff, we're both Scorpios. So it would be nice to talk to somebody, that maybe potentially were cut from the same cloth, I would like to think. Who knows? But anyway, my last whip that I worked on, which has become a fan favorite apparently, from comments that I've received on my channel and in groups that I stitch with regularly every month, is my Crescent Moon Dragon from Joan Elliott. So this is the one piece that I work on like every Saturday, as long as I'm not working. In fact, I worked on it yesterday with the one group I belong to. We meet at two different places each month. The Heirloom Stitchers of Maryland, which is kind of an offshoot of cross stitchers of Maryland. And then we jokingly call ourselves the enablers, which I'm sure a lot of groups across the country would think they qualify for that categorization. But anyway, so we were in Aberdeen, Maryland yesterday. We had a small group, about 8 of us, I think. So it was good. So this is, I'm sure you all have seen this a million times. Many people have completed it and all that good stuff. And that's in my Pinky Promises dragon bag, project bag. You can see the inside. It's got dragons flying around and some Celtic designs, some knots and what have you. It's a very lovely bag. She makes really good stuff. I wish I could afford to buy more of them, because I get emails from her all the time saying, oh, look, here's my, and I'm like, she had I think it was a mermaid one that she did release recently, and I was like, oh, I really want that. And then there was another one, I think this past week, that I got. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head now, but it was another one I was like, really would love to have that. But anyway, so I've been working on the head this past month or two, so you can kind of, so you can see I've just about got it knocked out. There's still some more colors up here in the fins and spine and whatnot, but I just got to fill in, put in the eyeball, and then you can see it as a whole. Yeah, it's beautiful. I just wish I could work on it faster. I'm a notoriously slow stitcher. I mean, agonizingly slow, like glacier slow. But that's why I made this kind of my guaranteed once a week, to work on it, at least 3 hours. So at least I'm making progress. So it'll take time. Probably a couple more years at the rate I'm going, but I wish I could retire and just stitch all the time. Yeah. Hopefully. My wife is a couple years older than me. So and I'm partially disabled, but I still work. I have full time. I have a desk job, so it's not like I can't do my job. But I told her, I say, I'll work if I can until you retire, and then when she retires, I retire. So even if I'm not at maximum benefit, because God knows what the retirement age will be, and over the next 15 to 20 years. I hope it doesn't go any higher, but I'll take early retirement, because at that point the house should be paid off and all that good stuff. Then I can just say, all right, we'll sell the house and move to the country and get something, suitable for a lot less money, and then live on retirement, and hopefully we will be able to do that without too much trouble. All right, so that was my whips. Okay, so last month I had a giveaway, not a contest, just a free giveaway, random winner, for the companion to the stars pattern that came out from Plum Street Samplers. I had, it's called Stripes, and Stripes. I had accidentally bought 2 of these over 2 different orders, and so I had an extra one, so I'm like, I'll just give it away. So to anyone who had submitted something in comments with the word stripe or stripes, and I got a few entries, not a whole lot, but I got a few. And the winner of the and stripes pattern is Peggy Martinez 5350. So Peggy, when you see this video, you can message me directly on Instagram at Donald Chirby. If you're not already following me, follow me, and then send me a direct message, and I'll confirm that, and then I'll get your mailing address from you, and or that you want me to send this to, and I'll send it out post haste. Congratulations. And that's my first giveaway. So, I mean, I've had giveaways before, but no one ever bothered to enter, so I never gave anything away. Well, that's not true. One of the ones I had, I went ahead and gave it to somebody because of conversations that we had about my videos. But you're the first official winner of people that submitted to win something. So, congrats. All right. So, I'm messing my hair all up. So, all right. You know, usually my videos are like an hour long or more. I'm done for the most part. But I will talk a little bit about something, I guess, more personal. So my stitching mojo has been crap for months, and I don't know what it is. I mean, some of you have made comments to me, very, very nice things that were said to me about, you know, because I was considering giving up doing these Floss 2 videos because I'm not getting much in the way of following or, you know, comments, or, I mean, you know, I'll get some, and they're from the same people, so, you know, I appreciate that, but, you know, I kind of wonder if it's a wasted effort because, you know, because of that. And but it seems like this time of year, I think because it's dark so early and I work from sun up to sundown, so it's like almost always dark when I'm out. You know, some of that circadian rhythm, I guess, is that what that's called, you know. I feel like I suffer from the winter blues or depression, or I don't know what, but it definitely has affected my stitching. I do find when I go out and hang out with other people, you know, But the only time I do that is on Saturday, twice a month, maybe sometimes 3 times a month. It depends on which group and what days fall and where and whatnot. But yeah, so I've not been real happy. I come home from work and plop down in a chair. Sometimes I don't eat. Sometimes I just fall right to sleep, and then, get up and do it all over again. So anyway, I was, like I normally show my book of days, and, I usually fill it out with stickers and funny things and, all the things I work on. But basically, basically since Super Bowl Sunday, I haven't done jack other than on Saturdays. So, and here's March. I haven't done anything other than yesterday. Worked on the dragon. So, I'm gonna try real hard to be motivated for March. I don't know how high my hopes are. So anyway, I'm a big time music person. I love 80s, British, electronic, new wave, romantic, alternative music, from the early to mid, even late 80s. And whenever I kind of get lost mentally, I kind of retreat into that, just the joy, it's a base level joy that it brings me to listen to it. Or just music that I love. It doesn't have to be 80s necessarily. I like, there's plenty of 70s that I like, and there's a smattering of random new stuff, 90s forward that I like. So, being in the doldrums as I've been, I made a doldrums playlist. So here I wanted to share some of these songs with you. You can, if you don't know the artist or the song, I would encourage you to look them up, and maybe you'll find something new that you'll enjoy, along with something that brings me joy as well. And these are in no particular order. This is just the order I wrote them down in. So, and this one actually is an older song to start off. Of course, kind of obvious. Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane. It's a simple tune and a simple sentiment, but it's powerful if you think about it. Next up is a song called Lady Ice, from actually one of my favorite bands. When Duran Duran broke up back in the early 80s, some of the members formed a new band called Arcadia, and they only ever did one album. But that whole album is phenomenal, by the way, if you ever want to check it out. And it has a lot of guest musicians on it, like David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, Sting from the Police, trying to think who else. There's some others. I almost want to say maybe Phil Collins. I'd have to break out my CD and see if who else is on there, but there were some other people. Never Be the Same by Crowded House. I know most people know one or two songs by them because you hear them on the Muzak in the grocery store, like in places like that, you know, all the time. Something So Strong and I forget the other one, but all of their stuff is ridiculously good. Almost I don't think there's a bad song that they have ever made. So I would encourage you to check them out. And if you don't know the origins of Crowded House, it's made up of at different times, a pair of the Finn brothers. They're from New Zealand, and they used to be in a band called Split Enz that was very popular back, well, not here in the States necessarily, but they were big in Australia and Europe and other places. And they did several albums, at least 5 or 6 albums that I can think of. But yeah, they're really good. So, and their Split End stuff is some of it's a bit quirky because the one brother is a little crazy, I think. But Neil is the founding member of Crowded House, and he actually became a member of Fleetwood Mac at one point. I'm not sure why that was, but then you never heard anything more about that. So check them out. Now this is a band that, well, it's not a new band, but it's new to me, and I know who they are and they've been around, so they're not new to me, but I don't really know any of their music other than that one crazy song that you hear all the time. But I ran across this and I thought it was, the message is a little strong. I don't say I'm trying to make a statement with it, but I did like the song. So it's called I Don't Like Myself by Imagine Dragons. So I know they're very popular, and I may at some point explore some of their music to see if there's more that I like, but I did like this one song. Another person that I don't know anything about that is, I guess, fairly modern, but she has a following, someone called Halsey, but she has a song called Gasoline, which is really, really good. And as I had mentioned earlier, the band Split Enz, they have a song called Nobody Takes Me Seriously, which is a real fun song. They do it kind of tongue-in-cheek. If you listen to the lyrics, it's very quirky and fun, and it's from an album called True Colors, which has their one U.S. top 40 hit, I've Got You. And that's a really good album. Check that out. Another band that which is in my top 5 of my favorite bands of all time, and these guys are from the British romantic movement of the early 80s. They're kind of like synth band. The band is called Ultravox, and the song is called A Friend I Call Desire. That was off their third album with the new lineup after the John Fox era, because there was a band called Ultravox before, which members of the new Ultravox were part of, but they brought I don't know, there was something happened with the band, and they needed a new lead guy, and Midjor, if you know who he is, he stepped in and became their guitarist and lead singer, and all of their stuff is phenomenal. It's a shame they didn't put out more music before they broke up. They broke up in the mid to late 80s. I'm not really sure, can't remember who or why the band one member left. I'm not sure who that was, can't remember. And then they didn't do another album until they reformed briefly in 2012 and did an album called Brilliant, which was exactly as the title suggests. The album was brilliant, it's really well done. They hadn't lost a beat, and it was all the 4 original members back together, so that was cool. I kind of wish they had done more, but they got together for that one album, and then they promptly just didn't do anything else. They toured a bit. They did a co-headlining tour with Simple Minds at one point across Europe, but they never came here, which is sad, because I would have made every effort to go see that band, because that would have been 2 birds with 1 stone, because I want to see both of those bands live. One of those, but they're not a band anymore, but I am going to go see Simple Minds in June at Meriwether Post Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland. And their opening acts are going to be Modern English and Soft Cell. So that should be a really good show. I'm looking forward to that. My sister is taking me to that. She very kindly said she would come and take me to that, because my wife would never do that. So anyway, yeah, so that song, A Friend That I Call Desire, is from their album called Lament, which was their 3rd album. Then shifting gears to another song from the 80s, but this is an entirely different genre. I do have an occasional need to be a little more hardcore in my listening, can get a little heavier, if you will. I love Queensryche, not their early stuff, but the stuff that basically from I think it was the 1986 album called Rage for Order, which is really good. But their major success was the album that followed that, the Operation Mindcrime, which is a massive concept album from beginning to end. And the song that I was listening to was a song called I Don't Believe in Love, which is really good. Then this next song is from a band called Bad Suns. Suns as S-U-N-S, like the sun in the sky. I stumbled across them on iTunes and heard the one song. I heard this song actually, and it really kind of hit me well enough to like it, and I ended up checking out their other songs on the same album. The album is really good. But the song is called Take My Love and Run. And there's some other notable songs on that album as well. What's the one called? Heart Attack? I think that's what it's called Heart Attack. And then there's another one called Dancing on Quicksand, which is really good. And then the last song on this short playlist is, I think they're a Canadian band, I'm not sure. They're called the Boxer Rebellion. And they have a song called Weapon, which is really good. And that whole album is really good too. I'm trying to think. There's a song called The Fog That I'm Lost In, something like that. That's another really good song on there. So anyway, I kind of jumped the shark a little bit and went from cross stitch to music. But you know, I didn't have anything else better to do, to be honest. Well, I did have better things to do. I shouldn't say that. Could have been stitching, but you know, like I said, not really feeling, just not there mentally right now. So anyway, I guess that's I was just looking down at my book of days for February, and they always have a quote, you know, on there from a famous author or poet or something. And the irony is not lost on me how the quote for February is from known author I don't remember how to pronounce the name, Roald Dahl, James and the Giant Peach, author, and I don't know, did he illustrate that too? I don't know. And he's done some other famous works as well. But that's the one I remember from being a kid, was James and the Giant Peach. But anyway, the quote says, "If you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely." Well, I'm thinking I don't look all that lovely right now because my thoughts are not good. Not saying they're bad, just saying they're not good. Alright, well, that's enough of a downer session. Thanks for letting me dump that on you. Hopefully next month I'll be better. Anyway, thanks for showing up and listening to me rant for 15-20 minutes. And I'll see you next time, hopefully. So long. Have a good March. Bye.